Am I the asshole for abandoning a grieving friend after she tried to charge me rent? My friend is a recent widow. It's been a long time coming, but that hardly makes it easier. Her husband passed away at the end of February and she has been understandably distraught since. I have tried my best to support her through this even though I can't possibly understand what she's going through. At the beginning of the March she asked me if I'd stay over during the night because she couldn't stand sleeping alone in an empty house. I obliged and temporarily moved in once I was sure my husband was okay with it. She's not been taking care of herself, so I have been doing 100% of the household chores and taking care of her and all her responsibilities as well as working full-time. Well, last week she sprung on me how much she'll be expecting in rent from here on out. She heavily implied I was taking advantage of her in her grief trying to live in her house for free and that she expects me to backpay her rent for the 2 months I'd already been there. I was extremely insulted by this and told her I'd transfer her the money she wanted, but I would be moving back to my own house, where I am also paying rent. I got my stuff and was out within a couple of hours. She has since asked me to come back, but I have refused. I told her I'd still do her shopping and I'll come over to help her with a few bits, but I'm not spending another night in that house. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You didn't want to pay rent, so you went back to your own house. I think she's a bit of an asshole asking you to come and stay with her, and then asking you to pay money. I think you've set some healthy boundaries to avoid the situation occurring again. Not the asshole. What the fuck, taking advantage? You already have a place. What did you get out of it? Not the asshole? But you need to stand up for yourself more. You should not have paid her or offered to keep doing things for her. You should have explained why her request was inappropriate and left, leaving the ball in her court to continue your relationship with more appropriate boundaries. This reads like you're still learning how to not get completely walked over. Not the asshole, and I wouldn't do anything else for her for free since she has already proven that she will twist scenarios to try to get money out of you. There is a chance that she was not left off financially well. If that's the case, offer to help her get into contact with someone who can help her figure out the finances. Either way, she's the for taking advantage of your kindness. Not the asshole, and I would not pay her back rent. You can't create a rental agreement in your head and then expect someone to pay when it was not agreed up front. You were there to help her, and you have your own place, so it's not like you gained anything from staying there. And make sure she pays for anything you get for her. Not the asshole. She asked you to move in to help her. You already have your own house. You literally moved there to help her and take care of all the household jobs, yet she has the audacity to charge you rent and imply that you're taking advantage of her? She's the one taking advantage of your kindness. You shouldn't have transferred her the money. You're a better person than me because I would withdraw my help altogether. Grieving doesn't give her the right to be an YTA, not to her, but to yourself. Losing a spouse is not an excuse for treating you this way. And you paid her rent. And are still doing things for her? Stop letting her use you. Find better friends. Otherwise, not the asshole. Not the asshole, that's crazy talk. There's no way it's even some miscommunication, somehow, since she wanted you back after you refused and left. Are they in financial hardship, and this is their convoluted plan? Very strange when you have your own place and life to get back to. The support you were giving, and are still willing to offer, is more than enough, no matter what horrid things she's been through. Not the asshole. IMHO, you should bill her for the caregiver services you provided for those months, and no way in heck I'd keep enabling her the way you've been doing. Refer her for grief counseling and then back off. Okay, maybe don't bill her, but it might actually be beneficial for her to have to start taking care of herself and get over the idea that you were her new tenant. Geesh. Info. When you told her you'd pay her and then promptly leave, did she actually accept your money? I told her I'd still do her shopping and I'll come over to help her with a few bits. Not the asshole, you don't even have to do that. You gave so much of time and energy for her and she decided to charge you for it. That's not a good friend. Not the asshole. You sound like a great friend and person. I would be careful with this friend though. Not the asshole, she is using her current situation to get free money and free help from you. She should be paying you, not the other way around. You don't need such a friend. She can hire full-time housekeeper to do the work you are doing for free. Invest your free time in your family and get a hobby, you will feel much better. Info. If you're comfortable sharing your age decade, 60s, 70s, 40s, please do. For some reason I'm reading this as two women in their early 70s and thinking your friend's mental faculties could be playing a role here. Obviously if you're 29 and 30. That theory is gone. Not the asshole. That would be like going to work and having the boss say, well you're here 8 hours a day so you should help pay all of the bills. Or being charged for house sitting for someone. I hope for both of your sakes that this was just the grief talking. Jesus, op. You're not the asshole, but you will be to yourself and your marriage if you continue to let this selfish asshole take advantage of you. Drop the rope, she is not your friend, she is a toxic user and you cannot save her from herself. This emotional vampire will continue to take advantage of you and will suck you dry physically, emotionally and financially. She has her hooks in deep if she thinks that she can charge you rent, and you agreed. Block her. Don't do anything else for her ever. Did she ask you to stay one night or did she ask you to stay 24/7? Not the asshole at all. It sounds like she's taking advantage of you to be honest and using her situation to get money from you. You have a husband who you live with and she thought you'd moved it because of any reason other than to help her and look after her? Not the asshole. As soon as she sprung this unpleasant surprise on you, you did the right thing by immediately returning home, but still offering moral support. If your friend is finding life on her own difficult, she needs to seek bereavement counseling. It shouldn't be on you to be her therapist, too. Her, for obvious reasons. You because you actually paid her back rent and are still going to help out. Not the asshole. Why would you give her money when she asked to stay? It's kind of obvious she's trying to take advantage of your kindness. I would frankly stop helping her. She's an adult and if she was well enough to be a horrible person to you, she's well enough to take care of herself. Do you have a history of letting people walk all over you? This made me really sad to read. I think you should stand up for yourself more and not just roll over when someone asks you something crazy like paying rent when they asked you to move in. I told her I'd still do her shopping and I'll come over to help her with a few bits, but I'm not spending another night in that house. You didn't abandon her. Don't feel guilty. Grief can make people do weird things, but you have to take care of yourself too. You've been a good friend and still are and supported her as much as you can, but maybe now it's time to take a step back into your own life and let her figure out some things for herself. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Why pay any rent? She invited you. This needs to be the end of the friendship unless they apologize profusely and give you back your money. You don't need to go over any more or do anything else to help. You went above and beyond to help a friend in their hour of need and they chose to make money off of you and accuse you of taking advantage instead of talking to you if they're having money problems. Let the rest of her support group step up. You've done enough. Prioritize yourself now and enjoy living back with your husband. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Send her a bill for the long-term in home care and housekeeping she received. Not the asshole, but I'm probably gonna get SHT for saying this, but you have to grow a damn backbone. You paid her the rent? What the actual F? It's hard to find a whole lot of sympathy for people who allow others to walk all over them like this. And you still offered to help out, just not stay with her. Distance yourself from this, until she realizes what she did wasn't appropriate and see if you can move forward. You were being a nice friend for doing all that, but damn. You need to stand up for yourself. You reinforced her bad behavior by sending her the money. She's always going to think she can get whatever she wants out of you, and by you sending that money, she's right. You played right into that. She'd be on her own from now on. I could be harsh, but she's grieving right now. Not escalating was the best thing to do. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I would have said my help to you in your time of need as rent paid. Pack, leave and never look back. Not the asshole. She's the one who wanted you to move in the first place. Not the asshole. But man, why did you pay rent? She doesn't sound like a good friend, to be honest, and I hope this isn't a recurring theme with her. Because if that's just the way she is and if you decide to keep that relationship, maybe you should charge for cooking, cleaning etc. for the time you were there. That would shut her up really fast. Not the asshole. I know she's grieving, but that's insane. You left your own home with your husband, which you are still paying rent for, to almost live as her live-in maid and counselor. Now she wants you to pay her for it? She's crazy. I think you are the asshole to yourself. You are letting someone take advantage of you. Sure, she is in a depressive state, but that's no excuse to enable someone. She won't make her way out of grief if you are there to pick up the pieces, and she knows you will be, because even her unreasonable request got you still doing work for her. Manipulation tactics. I personally wouldn't be doing anything, let alone pay her and do chores etc. for her. You are not responsible for her. She is the asshole for asking to stay with her and then expecting rent, especially without a conversation. How rude. Not the asshole, you have been helping her and taking care of her, it's not like you moved in for your own benefit. Not to mention that you didn't abandon her completely, still doing her shopping etc. Why don't you charge her for household chores you have been doing since she wants to charge you for rent? Not the asshole, but you really need to work on building confidence and setting boundaries. Looks up videos or articles on it. Learn to say no. If you haven't already, don't pay a penny. If you have paid, send a bill for an equal amount for your services, cooking, cleaning, social services, and anything else you can think of. When you start standing up to yourself, people like her will start leaving you. It may be lonely at first, but it clears room to make healthier and better friends who don't take advantage of you and abuse you. You will also start to find that kind of bullshit will happen less and less in your life. Best. Not the asshole. You're a better person than me for continuing to do her shopping after she asked for back rent. I'm a Leo, but damn, I just couldn't bring myself to be that nice if she asked me for rent after spending 2 months running her household after she asked me to keep her company at night. Not the asshole. She's grieving, so I'll cut her some slack and suggest that she may need grief counseling, but she is still being an asshole to someone who has helped her. When my father died, I was expecting the sorrow and sense of loss, but I was not ready for the sense of anger that burned in me. I lashed out at people I shouldn't have and burned some bridges before I got it under control. That may be what is going on here. That doesn't make it right. What you have done for her goes above and beyond the call of friendship, and I don't think that you owe her anything for rent, but the idea of therapy might be worth suggesting to her if she continues like this. You and your husband are awesome people. Not the asshole. You clearly already have a home to live in and pay for. You really have no benefit from taking advantage of your friend. Could just be her grief talking too, so I wouldn't take it too personally, but I certainly think moving out was the right choice. Why can't she do her own shopping? Why can't she do the odd bits you were going to do? You are your own person. She is rude, wrong and entitled. You can help someone, but you are being taken advantage of. She may be grieving but needs to learn to stand on her own 2 feet. What was she like before her husband died? You are the asshole for paying the rent. LMAO, the fuck were you thinking? She asked you to help, you've got your own place, why the hell would you pay? Just move out, that's it. Not the asshole, and don't pay her back rent. Either family is putting those thoughts in her head, or she's being manipulative. Distance yourself. You can still be there for her as much as you're comfortable, but she isn't appreciating your sacrifices. Let someone else take advantage of her for a while. Not the asshole. I think you handled it perfectly. I probably wouldn't have even given her the back payment. Moving back was the best thing you could do while still offering to help put, though I would keep this friend at arm's length in the future. Not the asshole, don't do anything for her. If she had the gall to ask for rent, she can do her own damn shopping. So you went to be her grief-made companion, and paid her for the privilege? Do these things happen to you a lot? Her husband died and all, but she is 100% using you as a caregiver and wallet. If you want to be a chump and keep serving her for free, do it, but at least stop paying her. Jesus, have some self-respect. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, you were only there because she asked for your support. Why would you be wanting to sleep there rent-free when you have a place you already live at, a place where your husband and your stuff is? Well done for leaving as soon as she mentioned it. If she asks you to stay over again, say, "Sorry, I can't afford to pay double rent," and leave it at that. You're a saint for still offering to help out with other stuff after that. NTA. Please don't help this person anymore. Not the asshole. You are an amazing friend. She is not. I get it, she's grieving, but wow, that was way out of line to ask. Demand that you pay rent. I've never heard of such a thing. You're staying in her house, at her request, so she doesn't have to be alone, and then she demands rent? Holy shit, that's ridiculous. Not sure I could even be friends with her after that. Not the asshole. I wonder if her husband left her finances in a mess and this was her way to recoup some money, or has she always been greedy and inconsiderate? Please don't do anything for this friend without charging her for your time and energy. No matter where this woman's head is, it's up somewhere dark, and she doesn't need to take you there. Good luck. Not the asshole. Friend, you are an amazing person. But take it from someone who used to let people walk all over her. You have to learn to stand up for yourself. You deserve so much better. Not the asshole. So she asked you to move in, you have to take care of her and do chores because she can't, won't, and she now expects backdated rent? This is a blatant money grab. Stop helping. She has other friends, and if she doesn't, then she shouldn't have stabbed you in the back.